so this is just a vlog video, mostly because I get asked this question a lot, like a surprising number of times, all the time. So I figured, you know what, I'm just gonna make a video. And whenever people ask it in the future, I'm just gonna link them to the video. Because it's easier. Instead of typing it all out, because it always takes pages and pages. But anyway, as a huge Beatles fan, apparently it's like everybody's favorite question to ask me what I think about Yoko Ono. What are my feelings towards her? And honestly, it's not a black and white answer, because I do have mixed feelings where Yoko's concerned, but mostly more on the positive side than anything. I know some people can't stand her, some people still believe the misconception that she broke up the Beatles. I mean, she gets a bad rap that she doesn't deserve, in my opinion. That's not to say she's blameless in everything. She has done some shitty things, like her treatment of Julian, especially where John's will was concerned. That was handled completely wrong, but you know what? She's human. Everyone's human. Everyone makes mistakes. So, you can only hold it against a person so much. So, basically though, I kind of lump it into different categories, because when it comes to her singing, yeah, I'd really kind of prefer she not. I think anyone who's heard her singing probably feels like that, but, you know, I'm sure there's gotta be, like, a Yoko Ono, like, fandom out there that fucking adores her singing, or whatever you'd call it. I'm not sure that the word applies. If you've never heard it, YouTube's your friend. Just saying. You go find out what I mean. So, yeah, the closest thing to, like, a tolerable song to sit through of hers I've found is that kind of recent one she did called Bad Dancer. Actually, that one I find hilarious, and I actually have replayed quite a good amount of times, surprisingly. I think it's the only Yoko song I can say that about. But, apart from that, I'm just like, I'm just gonna not where that's concerned. However, that aside, as an artist, you know, I actually have crazy amounts of respect for her, because she just has a very different type of thinking than most people. Like, she's on a whole other plane of her own, and I find it fascinating. I mean, if you haven't, like, looked into her art, be it her performance art, be it her exhibits, what have you, I suggest you do so. Because, frankly, it really is. If you look into it beyond just, like, surface level and actually, like, look into it in the whys of why it happens, yeah, it's actually a really fascinating thing. And that's part of what made John Lennon fall in love with her. And even more recently, like, I want to say early to mid-2000s, she was running a blog where she, like, it was semi-art of hers, but also more like daily prompts she was coming up with to force people to think and interpret these prompts in entirely different ways and post to her what they came up with, be it in text, be it an art piece they made, be it a song, what have you. I was so intrigued by that entire project, and it just, like, blew my mind how much it did force a person to think and how different everyone's perceptions of them were. I mean, I suppose that's true of any sort of prompt when it comes to anything, but these in particular were, like, really, really unique ones, and I was just like, you know, she's different, but I love how different her mind is, and just how differently it functions from most people's, and she comes up with stuff that most people never would, and I love that. Actually, you know what, I wrote to her one time when I was a teenager, and I got a postcard back, believe it or not, and I found out that this was not, like, a unique thing just for me. Sorry, there's a loose hair and it's making me nuts. I think I got it. Okay, sorry. But she apparently, like, sent these out to lots of people, but it basically said, I'm sending you a piece of the sky. That just, it's like, what does that mean? But then you think about it, it's like, that's kind of a beautiful concept, really. I don't know. Some people would just write it off as being weird, but I really admire it. But, I actually had the unique experience of being able to meet her, albeit briefly, back in, shit, was it 2002? 2001 or 2002. Anyway, I think it was Monterey. But it wasn't an exhibition of her art. It was actually an exhibition of John's art, which admittedly is why I went to it. And knowing she'd be there, I went to the first night of it. I figured I probably won't even see her, or if I do, she'll be like so inundated with other people, I won't even be able to get near her. Not even close! Freaking nobody was coming up to her. I was just like, are you shitting me? So I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna go talk to her. I mean, which is very unlike me because I am like the biggest introvert you'll ever meet, but then again, this is kind of like a once-in-a-lifetime chance. So I took it. And I was really taken by just how soft-spoken and shy she is, too. I was like, oh my god, for some reason I just figured for, you know, how vocal she is on so many things that, you know, she's probably an extrovert, and not so much. But she was very nice, she was very sweet to me. I have a picture somewhere. I wish I'd actually grabbed it before I started filming this, but I don't exactly know where the photo album is that has it in it. But, yeah, I got to take a picture with her. She talked to me for like a good 15 minutes. So, I mean, I was just like, wow, that, you know, I mean, it may be a bias, but it made me respect her a hell of a lot more after that. Not gonna lie, I thought a lot more highly of her after that. That's when I actually started giving her artwork a chance, and not just, like, falling prey to the whole, oh, she broke up the Beatles thing, even though I knew going into it that that's not even true. It's not even true. I love how just fairly recently, within the past few years, Paul finally publicly stated that, yeah, she didn't break up the Beatles. I did! I sued the other three, even though this was well-known fact, but everybody glosses over that and just throws the blame on her, because nobody wants to blame Sir Paul for anything, which, whatever, but, yeah, that, and yet people still fucking blame her. It's like, this is one of my biggest pet peeves when it comes to the Beatles, is that notion right there. I mean, sure, she probably didn't help tensions any, but, she is definitely not the single blame holder here. There is no one single blame holder. There was a shit ton of factors that all went into that, and it was a long time coming for a few years leading up to it. It was gonna happen either way, whether or not she was in the picture, she just became the scapegoat, so I feel she gets a very unfair reputation as a result of that. Not to mention, just, people don't like things that are different by and large, and she was very, very different in that one of the world's most famous eligible men fell in love with this strange foreign woman, this Japanese woman, interracial couple back in the days when that was not a thing you did. Like, they had to go to Spain to even be legally married, because back then you could not, in most countries, have an interracial marriage. Yeah, people threw a lot of shit at her just for being different. And they threw shit at John for loving somebody who was so different, and it just was always really an unfair thing. So I don't hold any of that against her. None of it. The only things I really had to base anything off of was just her mistreatment of Julian, and some of the shadier things she's done with the Lennon estate. I mean, yeah, you kinda can't let her off the hook for everything. But by and large, mostly, I actually do have a very positive opinion of Yoko, and if it has to be a black and white answer of do you like her or not, yes or no, no other answer, yes or no, I would say yes. Personally, I would say yes. There is only one Beatle wife I ever despised, and it was never her. It was Heather Mills. And I think there is not a person out there who blames me for that, so forgiven how that shit turned out. But, yeah, I saw through that facade pretty much from the get-go. I'm good at reading body language. Look at legit just about any photo of Paul and Heather. You'll see what I mean. But anyway, yeah, with Yoko, I don't know. Like I said, I think she gets an unfair reputation. I don't hold it against her. Pretty much I like her. For the most part, all around, I just like her. So, anyway, that's my answer on this for anyone who is curious about it. So as usual, if you like this video, click the like button. If you're not already and you'd like to be, click subscribe, leave comments down below. And until next time, bye!